Okay, so by now, most of you guys with your collage, you have already added most of the paper. You might have a little bit more to add today. So what I want to do is I want to show you how to finish it up. So these were your 4 pictures you were looking at, and you were kind of borrowing from other pictures. You could kind of make your own by looking at these. That's fine. But now it's time to add the finishing details. So this will be up today during class. But what we're going to look at is our final little piece here, okay? So here is mine. Remember the first day when we talked about how this one looked kind of messed up, right? So here it is, okay? Now it's ready for details, all right? What I mean by that, and I'm not talking about elementary school details where we're putting sunshines in corners and stick people with houses. That's all wonderful stuff, but not necessarily for this project. Now I can go in and I can shade stuff. So I've got some colored pencils. You guys know all that, okay? And what I want you to do is start going in and looking for shadows. And you're not coloring the whole thing in because it's already green, right? But maybe you're finding some areas that have shadow. Let me zoom in, okay? So there's mine right here. I see people returning to their gluing, and these will be the same people that when I talk to them later and I say, you know, what are you doing? Are you doing what you're supposed to be doing? You're going to be mystified, okay? Let me get it to focus. There's a little bit better, right? Okay? So now if you look, I can even go in here now, and I'm going to show you a trick. If you want to add blades of grass, it's never just side by side because grass doesn't really grow that way. It overlaps. It kind of does beautiful things. So you can go in there now, and you could start to do things like this. What would make it look even better is grass is very rarely just one color. Okay, so there's 2 shades of green in your box. Get your other lime green. And even though it's close to the color of my painting, it's still starting to look interesting. And we remember how we noticed that some of those fields had little yellow flowers in it, and some of you guys really like that. I'm not going to even try to draw specific flowers, but I'm going to go in there and just kind of add a little bit of yellow. Can you kind of see the yellow? Yeah, you can see it. That I'm adding in there, okay? So I'm going to start adding in details like that, and I would do that everywhere in my grass I want those flowers to appear. Let's move up here to like my lake, okay? So for my lake, it's the same idea. I can start adding details. I didn't sharpen a blue. I'm trying to see if there's one that's kind of sharp. Yeah, there is. Okay. So now I can get a color in here for my blue, and watch what I do. Maybe I go back and I look at the photos that are on the screen, and I notice that the lake on one side is a lot darker than the lake in the middle. So what I can do is I can kind of color heavy where it's supposed to be dark, and then I can lighten it up in other places. And I know that these details don't seem like a real big deal, but you know how you put on an outfit, like say like you put on your uniform shirt, your navy shirt with your khaki pants, right? But we all come to school and everybody manages to look a little bit different, right? That's because you accessorize, right? You add your ball cap, you have a hoodie, maybe you have on your Jordans that day, maybe you had a diamond stud in your ear, you had, what else would you have? Cool socks, right? All different types of stuff. Think about your details like you're accessorizing your artwork, okay? So that's what's going to take your artwork from being kind of looking like everybody else's into something that looks really special and just like yours. And so you can see if you look at mine, I'll try to move a little bit more slow. See how it's already starting to make a difference where I shade in the lake, I'm starting to add the blades in the grass. You would do the same thing in the mountains. And the really cool thing is your white, I don't know if I have a white that's sharp, I don't. But I was going to say your white will color over your blue pretty well, so you could get some clouds up there. You can even put brown in your mountains. I always like to put a little bit of brown in the mountains because I think that there's always a little bit. And watch what I can do. See how I can color real hard in just a few places, and that starts to make the mountains look even more craggy, which that's what mountains look like, right? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. So that's what we're going to do today. So that's why when people were coming up to me saying, I'm done, I'm done, this colored pencil part should take you all of one class. So if you're finishing the colored pencil stuff in 10 minutes or less, you're probably not giving it the kind of attention you need to give it, okay? So 3, 2, 1, go ahead and get started. I'll be here all the class to help you.